Welcome everyone, I'm Kingly Valent, and thanks for watching the Spore speedrun challenge. Throughout the years, I've completed a few Pitiful Worm challenges in Spore on this channel. This is where we play through the entire game with only a mouth, to be the weakest, most terrible creature Spore will let us. And we've beaten Spore with just an herbivore mouth, carnivore mouth, mouths on the front, mouths on the back, both socially and aggressively. This way we've covered pretty much every possible combination to show we can beat this game with as little as possible. Except there's always been one thing that felt incomplete to me. Something that's always bugged me about these worst creature challenges that I've been putting off just thinking it's impossible anyway. Don't worry, my concern doesn't invalidate anything we've done so far. We've always followed the Pitiful Worm rules to not put anything on our creature beyond the starting mouths throughout the stages. We don't even put any tribal gear from the tribal outfitter on our creature, since I've always considered these upgrades as part of our creature. However, we've always allowed our Pitiful Worms access to tribal tools, as these are items our creatures pick up and carry throughout tribal stage, so they aren't part of or on our creature, so they've always been fair game to use. But these tools are still very powerful, like the stone axes and flaming torches, but they kind of remove some of the pitifulness of our creatures. So today we ask ourselves, can we beat Spore even without the tribal tools as the Pitiful Worm? We really aren't giving ourselves much to work with. Other than the chieftain who always has their staff, our worms only have bite level 1. Without instruments, socializing and allying the other tribes is completely impossible. Without being able to play anything, we only get a 2 out of 10 for our performance. Even with the Beastmaster ability, this wouldn't get us to the 10. And for this challenge, we also aren't going to use any chieftain abilities either. We were truly working with the absolute minimum, most pitiful, underpowered creatures Maxis will legitimately let us play as. And since we can't socialize, this leaves us with only one option, to destroy all the other tribes with an army of angry worms. And we'll be going through a lot of worms, so we need tons of food. Thankfully, we can domesticate the nearby creatures and put them in our pen to start producing eggs for us. Since we're so slow, gathering fruit takes a long time, and can leave our tribe open to wild animals. But with an infinite egg supply, we can have one tribe member continuously going back and forth collecting eggs to our stockpile. And getting that 2 from this creature really pissed off our worms, and now they're seething with rage, and they attack. But this really shows the difficulty for this challenge. Our bite level 1 creatures only do 1 damage per bite. Our chieftain is really the only one who can do any damage, and the chieftain is going to be the star of the show today. Eventually, when the rival creatures get too damaged, they'll run away scared. But we're so slow it's hard to catch up. Thankfully, they'll sometimes get stuck, and we got them. But that's only 1 rival tribe member down, and it took our whole tribe attacking this one creature to take them out. But with one of their members down, this is our best opportunity to attack. We'll still leave 1 tribe member back home to keep collecting food, and so we don't lose in case everyone else dies as well. We're going to start out stealing their food supply to hopefully remove their ability to buy more babies. Alright everyone, fight their chieftain. And something interesting about the first tribe is they never have weapon tools. They can have instruments like these didgeridoos, but they'll have to defend with just their own creature abilities. So this is kind of the best case scenario to see if this is even possible. And there we go, their chieftain is down. But it cost us almost 3 worms, and our chieftain is heavily damaged. But don't worry, stealing from the rival tribe completely restores our tribe member's health on the spot. Our chieftain is too angry to die, and is back to full health ready to keep going. We'll have to pull out all the tricks for this run, including the baby duplication trick, where we can get new babies for free by changing the graphics effects. And on the next tribe, I even use a new additional trick with this to make babies hatch even faster, so we'll have more worms ready for combat quicker. But we finally got through all their tribe members, and we're starting to attack their main hut. Maybe this won't be so bad after all. We invited our new babies to join in on the fun, chomping at their main hut. But don't get too comfortable, eventually their chieftain does respawn for free. And they got another baby as well. Maybe we should have stolen from them more when the coast was clear. Oh well, we got them last time. Maybe we can do it again? But unfortunately, their chieftain started attacking our chieftain. No, chieftain down. And now we'll really get to see just how useless the regular members are with just their 1 damage per attack. We did get through their chieftain again, but their babies grew up too fast. It looks like the babies grew up in the main hut since it's nighttime, so that really sucks. We couldn't take out the babies before they grew up. And these extra reinforcements fended us off. And they're repairing their main hut. So that just negated all the work we just did. And that was against the first tribe, without them using weapon tools. This isn't looking too good for us. But thankfully their food stockpile looks pretty depleted now, so maybe a second attack will push through. And with a bit of luck, catching one of them while they were gathering alone, and making sure our chieftain isn't the one being targeted, we got through again. And halfway through damaging their main hut, since it takes so long, we had to take out another chieftain. And we finally destroyed our first tribe in 25 minutes. But don't worry, it only gets harder from here. At least we get 9 angry worms to combat the next tribe, but they also get up to 9 members as well. We can gift the rival tribes to keep them ambivalent, so we only need to fight them one at a time, and making sure to gift the other tribe members directly to prevent the relationship from naturally lowering back down into the angry range, so they'll stay ambivalent until we attack them later. Oh, there's an epic attacking pink tribe? This can really help us. Yes, take them out. They have some babies, but they only have 2 adults and they're distracted by the epic. Quick, get those babies. We do extra damage to them while they're babies, and if the baby does grow up, they do get double the health, but at least it's not a full restore. The most difficult part of this is trying to direct our tribe members around. They get stuck incredibly easily, and they get the confused question mark above their head. Trying to navigate our chieftain around our tribe members was super tricky. And even with that huge starting advantage, thanks to the epic wiping out their entire tribe, we still lost 3 worms. But overall, a very successful initial attack. But I want to make sure our reinforcements arrive quickly, and we can use an additional trick to speed up the waiting time for eggs to hatch. And huge thanks to Dakk'ath for pointing this out. When an egg is hatching and rolling out of the main hut, the animation continues while in the tribal planner. This is huge because the game is essentially paused while in the tribal planner, allowing the baby's hatching time to elapse for free. Then when the baby hatches, quickly exit and enter the options menu to switch the graphics effects, which is also while the game is paused, then immediately enter the tribal planner again and watch the next baby hatch as well. This significantly reduces the amount of time between when each baby is born, and it's like all 3 babies were born at the same time, waiting for them to grow up in the tribe member list, and each baby grows up in real time right after another, allowing us to bring in new recruits into combat faster. And with just 1 more chieftain for our angry worms to neutralize, and we got our second tribe destroyed. That was super lucky getting the epic to do our dirty work for us, but we're on our own from here. We didn't get any more epic assistance on the next tribes, and we have more tribes with stone axes and flaming torches to deal with. And our tribal runs don't usually take this long, and I don't often see the spaceship appear in tribal stage. And I wonder if it does anything. Hey, it just abducted one of our domesticated animals. That's my food supply you're taking there. Hey, it just took a second one. Rude. Oh, and it's gone. It probably figured these pitiful worms can't put up a fight, but little did they know, that just made our worms even angrier. And one day, maybe not today, maybe not in the next 1 million years, but eventually we'll get into space, and we'll see who's laughing then. But thankfully, since those nests are still allied, we can pull another domesticated creature from each nest. And we're back up to 3 creatures producing eggs again. Alright, we have green tribe with stone axes, and cyan with flaming torches. Stone axes are scarier since they do more damage, but green only has 7 members, so I like my chances here first. I'm feeling confident after our last couple tribe victories, so let's go in with the pre-stealing strategy. Yeah, no food for you. And attack. And, oh no, there goes our chieftain immediately. And all our worms are hurt. Quick, steal again and restore your health. And this did not work. Quick, get out of there. And interesting, they might be eating their stolen package as they're going. They're restoring their health on the move. I didn't know they could do that. Too bad they can't fight and heal like this. Alright, we didn't break through on our first try, and we didn't even take out any of their guys. But that's okay, it's all part of the plan. Now you see, I wanted them to win, to give them a false sense of security. Their overconfidence will be their downfall. This way they'll attack us, and they'll split their forces, and we'll only have to defend from them a few at a time. And this actually worked pretty well, since by the time they attacked and came over to our tribe, our chieftain and the rest of the tribe was back and ready to greet them. But unfortunately, when they ran away scared, I sent too many worms after them to clean up the kill, and ended up splitting my tribe as well, while we still had a couple of attackers back home to deal with. This led to a counter to my counterattack, and ended up taking out our whole worm army again, and allowed them to restore their whole tribe as well. That could have worked better if we didn't get too separated. Fighting as one big group is the key. I did save occasionally, including right before the initial attack on green, and this time I tried a slightly different strategy. Instead, we'll wait for a couple of gatherers to leave, and chase them down to take them out all by themselves. And we got pretty lucky that the gathering members green sent are didgeridoo players and didn't have stone axes. This forces them to use their normal creature abilities again, and thankfully these creatures without their stone axes aren't too bad. Only bite and strike level 2, and most importantly, only speed level 1. We'll see with the next couple of tribes that the stats of the rival creatures Spore chooses has a huge impact on the difficulty for this challenge. But we got pretty good luck that green aren't the greatest combat fighters either. After taking out the 2 gatherers, this reduces green down to 5 members, and we quickly moved in for the attack. They're very likely to make some babies to restore their tribe, but if we can take them out early, that'll really help us out in the long run. Just as I suspected, they're already getting busy and making some babies. They already have 3 babies we need to remove from the battlefield, and I'm essentially only targeting the babies. And we seem to have caught them a little off guard, because there aren't too many stone axe wielders here either. That'll really reduce their damage output. Normally paying this much attention to what tools the rival members are holding doesn't matter this much, as we usually just steamroll them anyway. But when our ability to deal damage is so little, the tools they're using are a much bigger deal. And thankfully if the babies do grow up, they don't have time to retrieve any stone axes either. And this is going pretty well. We're not winning or anything, as we're down to only 2 attackers left, and both are heavily damaged. But we did accomplish our goal of eliminating all their baby reinforcements and reducing them down to 4 members. It only took our entire tribe to do so, but instead of waiting for them to attack back, we're going to try to lure them back home, where another wave of angry worms are getting cooked up, and they'll all be ready to go at nearly the same time again. From here, we just need them to keep fighting and make sure they don't leave. Thankfully we got a lot of food thanks to our dedicated food collector, because now we'll just have to buy a new baby one at a time as we need them to keep the fight going. Just keep throwing another worm into the fire. Our chieftain returned, and after continuously sending more worms in, we eventually worked our way through the remaining green tribe members, and they're in full retreat. But returning back home won't keep you safe from these angry worms. Finishing off all the green members, and we get to start chipping away at the main hut, making sure to steal all their food, bankrupting green in the process. And taking out one more green chieftain, but nothing our battle worms can't handle at this point, and we took out our 3rd tribe. But this is where the final 12-member tribe spawns in, and oh, those are much more powerful and fast creatures, yikes. But let's gift them as well to keep them ambivalent, and we still have Cyan tribe to go as well. And now we have 12 tribe members. Cyan doesn't stand a chance. They don't even have stone axes. This'll be easy. And dang, everyone's eliminated. And Cyan still has all 9 members? What? How? How did they fend us off so well? I think a lot of it has to do with their speed. Level 5 speed was so hard for our worm to keep up with, and Cyan could get hits on us while we couldn't even get a chance to fight back. Plus they have strike level 4 this time. Each tribe really provided a different experience with unique challenges, and Cyan was by far the toughest tribe to fight. The overall strategy went pretty similar to green: wait for them to attack so they separate, counterattack to eliminate reinforcements, draw the remaining forces back, and just keep sending in worms over and over until they break. We must have gone to at least 3 entire tribes worth of worms to take down Cyan, but after almost 30 minutes of banging my head against Cyan, we finally broke through, destroying Cyan for our 4th tribe destroyed in 2 hours. And even after their main hut is destroyed, Cyan still won't give up. Come on Cyan, your hut's destroyed, just give it up. Oh, there it is. And finally, the last 12-member tribe. Can we prove tribal stage can be beaten as a pitiful worm with no tribal tools? Confidence is high. We found 3 gatherers alone, took them out, and fended off their initial attack. And now time for our counterattack. But these Broozo creatures were just too strong. We seriously ran into an insurmountable brick wall. I seriously spent the next 30 minutes trying to put even a dent into them, but nothing. Is that it? Was Maxis right? Do we have to use the tools? Is there really such a thing as too pitiful that we can't win tribal stage? I was this close to giving up. But I remember during our last tribal challenge, where we beat tribal stage deathless with only 3 regular tribe members, that the final 12-member tribe used these creatures. These Gekko creatures are far less powerful than the creatures we got this time. Why couldn't have we gotten someone like this again? With only level 1 speed, these would have been a much more even fight. And for fighting with the worms, it seems like the rival creature's speed is their most important aspect. I'd much rather fight against level 5 attacks than level 5 speed. But in the case of the Gekko creatures, they had neither. Even though they are the large final 12-member tribe, that doesn't mean they have to be strong creatures. The rival creatures tribal stage chooses are completely random, and I can't know what the rival creatures are going to be. And it's predetermined at the start of tribal stage. I can't just save before they spawn and re-roll the creature. We'd have to completely reset tribal stage to get different rival creatures. But since our goal here today is to prove that it's at least possible for our pitiful worms to beat tribal stage toolless, and since we did already destroy the first 4 tribes, on this run I quickly allied the other tribes to return us to the exact same position we were in before, in hopes of getting a different rival creature. And in the very next run, our prayers were answered. For the 12-member tribe, we got the Broozo Creatures. Much better. They're a lot slower and less powerful. This would have been a lot easier if these were the creatures we got the first time. But this is still really cool. We got the chance to see the stark difference the rival creatures make. And this time, we used their slow level 2 speed to our advantage. After pissing them off by stealing from them, the Dweeblies attacked, sending half of their tribe in the raiding party. But little did they know, it was all a trap. Once they got all the way to our tribe, we attacked the remaining members back home, which automatically draws their attacking forces back home to defend. But they have so far to go, and at level 2 speed, this gives us a lot of time to attack Orange back home. And when their forces eventually do return home, we disengage to avoid the raiding party. We're taking a lot of hits retreating, but this is worth it as the raiding party doesn't see anyone attacking them anymore, and figures it's safe to go back on the attack to our home tribe in another raid, so we still don't have to deal with them. And thankfully it appears attacking the remaining Orange members away from their tribe does not draw the attention of the raiding party. But after all of that, we only managed to take out 2 Orange members with our entire tribe attacking, so even these weaker creatures are still difficult to fight. And the raiding party is nearing our home tribe again, but everyone back home are still babies. We can't defend from this raiding party. So with our last 2 remaining members back at Orange, we need them to attack one of their buildings to draw the raiders back. And with their literal dying breath, they chomp the main hut, saving the entire next generation of worms. And our worms all grew up just in time for the raiding party to return again. And thanks to home field advantage and allowing them to attack our main hut instead of our worms, we managed to fend off the entire raiding party. But now we have to strike while Orange is weakened. We unfortunately can't do anything about these babies. They'll be able to grow up too fast. And we have to trek through the whole distance at level 1 speed. And after a quick heal on the main hut, we're on the move. This time confidence is high. There's only 4 Orange members at the main hut standing between us and victory. After this grueling 3 hours, and letting our angry worms do what they do best, we finally whittled down their last Orange members and started chomping away at their main hut's 1000 health. Of course, this takes so long, their chieftain respawned twice. But nothing's gonna stop us now. And we did it, finally proving, given some lucky rival creatures, that we can indeed beat Tribal Stage as the Pitiful Worm, no tribal outfitter, no tribal tools, as just the creature itself. Looking through both timelines, and thanks to the efforts of 93 brave souls, we beat Tribal Stage and Spore in a way Maxis never expected. This was a brutal challenge, but one I'm finally glad to have tried. We know how else you'd like me to beat Spore, and any other challenges as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Kingly Valence, and I'll see you next time.